My name is Valerius Hoss, Warden of Dark Mind Asylum. Welcome to Dark Mind Asylum. Within these walls, we contain individuals whose minds and abilities defy normal comprehension. Today, we examine 16 such subjects. You will hear their complete psychological profiles, past incidents, abilities, and containment measures. Listen carefully, for every detail matters. Patient 043 Sweet Mercy, the Valentine's Day Killer. Real name, Dahlia Venn. Alias, Sweet Mercy, the Heartbreaker, Lady Lace. Age, 29. MBTI, ENFJT. Birthplace, Copenhagen, Denmark. Current territory, Los Angeles, California. Classification, humanoid killer/high charm manipulator. Threat level, Crimson, 5, emotionally disarming predator. Appearance, height, 5 feet 7 inches. Build, sleek, elegant hourglass shape. Eyes, warm brown, but become glassy and unfocused during kills. Hair, long, glossy black waves. Skin, pale porcelain tone. Scent, vanilla and rose perfume, her signature trail. Voice, soft, therapeutic, hypnotic. Primary outfit, a blood-red velvet dress with black lace trim. Long black opera gloves, concealing thin garrote wires inside the seams. Black lace stockings. Heart-shaped Venetian-style mask she never removes during hunts. Custom high heels with sound-dampening rubberized soles. Carries silk ribbons and lace cords that appear harmless until she weaponizes them. Background. Dahlia Venn was once a respected relationship counselor in Copenhagen. She specialized in emotional trauma, couples therapy, and helping clients detect manipulation in partners. Her own fiancé cheated on her with her best friend on Valentine's evening, while she was working late counseling a broken couple. When she arrived home and saw them together, Dahlia experienced a catastrophic emotional break. She attempted to forgive, attempted to rationalize, but her mind snapped in the middle of the apology. She strangled both of them with a silk lace ribbon, the same ribbon her fiancé used to wrap her Valentine's gift. The act felt beautifully poetic to her. She fled to the United States under a false name, beginning her transformation into Sweet Mercy, a killer who desperately loves love itself, but despises the people who ruin it. Now she stalks toxic lovers, cheaters, manipulators, emotionally abusive couples, believing she is redeeming the world by ending relationships forever. Goals: to purify the concept of love, to eliminate couples who betray or emotionally destroy each other, to force victims to confess their sins before she kills them, to find a man who cannot lie, a fantasy soulmate she believes exists, to die on Valentine's Day, ideally in the arms of someone who speaks true love. Abilities: 1. Seductive manipulation. She can read micro-expressions, voice tremors, hormonal changes, cheating guilt signals, emotional disconnect between partners. She is almost supernaturally good at detecting lies, even unintentional ones. 2. Psychological disarmament. Her tone, eye contact patterns, and language pacing are professionally trained to drop victim guards, induce emotional confession, bond with targets, create dependency, make them mistake her for a savior. 3. Silent assassin weapons. Silk lace garrote ribbons, choking cords hidden in gloves, perfume bottle repurposed as blinding spray, razor-thin lace threads coated in resin. 4. Enhanced agility. Graceful, dancer-like movement. She studied ballet in childhood. 5. Emotional intuition, ENFJT pattern. She profiles victims instantly. Who will run? Who will freeze? Who will confess? Which partner is lying? Modus operandi. Operational window: February 1st, 14th. Preferred victims: cheaters, toxic lovers, couples in active conflict. Calling card: a rose petal trail plus a small card reading. Love me not. Her process: studies a couple, social media, public arguments, therapy groups online, etc. Approaches one partner and appears as a flirt, therapist, or comforting stranger. Gains emotional trust, then exposes their lies or cheating patterns. Forces a confession using seduction or emotional pressure. Executes both partners in a dramatic, theatrical fashion, often together. Arranges the bodies in a romantic tableau, embracing, holding hands, etc. Leaves rose petals and a scented kiss on a mirror. She believes every kill is a love story with a tragic ending. Psychological profile: emotionally intense. Romantic idealist to an extreme. Repulsed by betrayal, dishonesty, emotional cruelty. Obsessed with the symbolism of Valentine's Day. Displays empathetic sadism. She feels compassion as she kills. Views herself as a therapist giving final relationship closure. Uses poetic lines mid-kill such as, "Love's last breath is always honest. Two hearts beating as one final time." Dangerous combination of high empathy plus high delusion. Containment cell. Designation: Cell V14, the Pink Room. Security level: 4, no male staff. Cell features: soundproof padded pink walls to prevent emotional manipulation. No mirrors. She uses reflections to hypnotize and read micro-expressions. Cold temperature, 58°F, to suppress pheromone output and emotional influence. Constant lavender mist to counteract her perfume-based tactics. Soft restraints required during feeding times. Female guards only. Male guards show a 93% breach risk. Her perfume is banned. Even traces in vents caused emotional incidents. Capture scenario: Dahlia attempted a theatrical kill in a high-rise penthouse. A cheating couple was tied together with lace, sitting beneath a glass skylight decorated with rose petals and candles. She planned to deliver her signature final line and then drop onto them from the overhead beams. But as she performed her dramatic entrance, the weakened glass collapsed. She fell through, crashed onto the marble floor, and broke multiple ribs. Even then, she tried to crawl toward the victims to finish the ritual. 3 taser shots and a tranquilizer finally brought her down. Her last words before sedation: "Even broken hearts still beat." Patient 044. Jack Frost, the Winter Reaper. Specimen designation: CV-H01/Jack Frost. Classification: Human/Seasonal Killer/Cryo-Anomaly. Status: Extreme Risk. Containment Protocol Icebound. Wing: Holiday and Seasonal Killer Sector. Cell W1. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. Origins and background. Original identity: Jonathan Frost, Anchorage, Alaska, 1985. Born into a reclusive family of survivalists. Early exposure to extreme cold shaped both physiology and psychology. Displays anomalous thermokinetic abilities during winter months, coinciding with mass killings every December through February. Childhood trauma: witnessed death of entire neighborhood due to accidental gas explosion. Developed obsession with mortality and cleaning the weak. Skilled hunter, tracker, and survivalist. Trigger: winter season. Psychological and physiological anomalies amplify in sub-zero temperatures, driving homicidal compulsion. Goals: seek to purify environments through cold, leaving frozen tableaus of victims, ritualistic snowflake symbols left near victims' bodies. 2. Physical description. Height/weight, 6 feet 2 inches/190 pounds. Build, muscular, broad-shouldered. Eyes, ice blue, pupils dilated during heightened aggression. Hair, white blonde, shoulder length. Skin, pale, almost reflective in snow. Outfit, fur-lined winter coat, reinforced boots, gloves with retractable claws, mask resembling frozen skull. 3. Psychology. MBTI, ISTP, tactical, precise, calm under pressure. Enneagram, 8W9, controlled dominance, strategic aggression. Traits, observant, patient, emotionally detached, ritualistic. Behavior, stalks prey silently, rarely speaks, leaves cryptic ice patterns near victims. Abnormality notes, winter-induced synesthesia, sees heat signatures as color distortions. 4. Abilities. Cryokinesis, localized frost generation on contact. Superhuman endurance in cold. Stealth mastery, camouflage in snow. Tracking, exceptional senses in winter environments. Weaknesses, heat exposure drastically reduces abilities. Summer months render anomaly dormant. V. Modus operandi. Preys exclusively in isolated snowy areas. Freezes victims partially before killing. Leaves snowflake markings as ritual. Often stages crime scenes as frozen tableaus. 6. Territory. Alaska, northern U.S., Canada. Remote cabins, snowy forests, frozen lakes. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First recorded killing, December 2006. Average of 3 to 5 victims per winter season. Victims range from hikers, isolated residents, and snowbound travelers. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Icebound Net. Date, February 15, 2025. Location, northern Alaska, frozen tundra. Deployment, teams with thermal imaging and cryo-resistant containment nets. Capture, neural suppression and ice-repelling restraints. Subject compliant under sub-zero conditions. Containment, Cell W1, refrigerated, reinforced alloy, anti-freeze ambient control. 9. Extra lore. Ritual snowflakes contain trace DNA from victims, believed to be part of anomaly amplification. Known to whisper names of victims in wind-like echoes. Patient 045. Pumpkin King, the Halloween Harvester. Specimen designation, CV-H02/Pumpkin King. Classification, human/seasonal killer/fear manipulator. Status, extreme risk. Containment protocol gourd. Wing, holiday and seasonal killer sector. Cell H2. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity, Jeremiah Holloway, Salem, Massachusetts, 1992. Grew up obsessed with occult folklore and Halloween traditions. Early fascination with pumpkins, masks, and fear conditioning experiments. Trigger, Halloween season, October 1st to 31st. Only acts during nights of darkness, often during high winds or fog. Goals, harvest souls through fear. Victims are found in grotesque pumpkin-themed scenarios. 2. Physical description. Height/weight, 6 feet 0 inches/175 pounds. Build, lean, wiry. Eyes, dark brown, dilated in shadows. Hair, black, cropped under mask. Skin, pale. Outfit, tattered scarecrow suit with pumpkin-shaped helmet, clawed gloves, scented with pumpkin spice. 3. Psychology. MBTI. ENFP. Chaotic, manipulative, thrill-seeking. Enneagram. 7W6. Enjoys planning elaborate pranks with lethal results. Traits. Unpredictable, theatrical. Enjoys psychological torture. Behavior. Stalks neighborhoods, leaves misleading clues, relishes seeing terror before kill. 4. Abilities. Fear induction. Heightened ability to manipulate human phobias. Agility. Exceptional parkour in rural and urban terrain. Trap mastery. Sets deadly, elaborate traps using Halloween props. Weaknesses. Daylight, police or train security disrupts operations. V. Modus operandi. Targets trick-or-treaters or lone pedestrians. Kills using bladed implements hidden in props. Leaves victims staged inside pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns. 6. Territory. Salem and northeastern U.S. rural suburbs. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed murder. October 2010. 1 to 3 victims each Halloween season. Known for elaborate staging and leaving cryptic notes. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name. Night Harvest. Date. October 31st, 2024. Location. Salem, Massachusetts. Deployment. Tactical containment. Psychological countermeasures. Thermal imaging. Capture. Caught mid-ritual inside pumpkin field. Restrained in reinforced alloy cell. Containment. Cell H2, sound/light dampened. Isolated observation. 9. Extra lore. Allegedly communicates with carved pumpkins. Unknown if sentient or ritualistic belief. Leaves pumpkin seeds in crime scene as symbolic signature. Patient 046. Lantern Man. The Thanksgiving Pilgrim Cannibal. Specimen designation. CV H03/Lantern Man. Classification. Human/seasonal killer/cannibal. Status. Extreme risk. Containment protocol harvest. Wing. Holiday and seasonal killer sector. Cell T3. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity. Ezekiel Pemberton, Plymouth, Massachusetts, 1978. Descendant of early colonial settlers. History of violent behavior documented in family journals. Obsession with harvest and pilgrim traditions from childhood. Trigger, Thanksgiving, November 24th to 30th. Compulsion to hunt, kill, and consume victims symbolically harvested. Goals, ritualistic consumption. Believes cannibalism strengthens connection with ancestral pioneers. 2. Physical description. Height/weight. 6 feet 1 inch/185 pounds. Build. Stocky, robust. Eyes. Hazel, glint of amber under firelight. Hair, brown, graying at temples. Skin, tanned, rough from outdoor labor. Outfit, colonial pilgrim garb, mask resembling lantern-lit face, blood-stained apron. 3. Psychology. MBTI, ESTJ, authoritative, ritualistic, traditionalist. Enneagram, 1W2, perfectionist, methodical, loyal to tradition. Traits, obsessed with historical accuracy, ceremonial mindset, extremely patient hunter. Behavior, engages victims with false hospitality, displays theatricality before killing. 4. Abilities. Expert tracking and hunting skills. Stealth in rural and forested environments. Ritualistic precision in killing and preparing victims. Weaknesses. Urban law enforcement disrupts ritual flow. Daylight reduces effectiveness. V. Modus operandi. Preys on isolated families or community gatherings. Uses historical weapons and tools. Ritualizes killing and consumption of victims, often in front of symbolic harvest displays. 6. Territory. Plymouth, Massachusetts. New England rural outskirts. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First recorded murder, Thanksgiving 2000. Average 2 to 4 victims annually. Known for carefully documented ritual logs. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Harvest Net. Date, November 28, 2024. Location, remote Massachusetts farm. Deployment, tactical strike teams with thermal imaging and ritual knowledge. Capture, surrounded mid-ritual, restrained with reinforced alloy and chemical sedatives. Containment, cell T3, reinforced alloy, sensory-reduced environment, continuous observation. 9. Extra lore. Lantern emits faintly bioluminescent glow, believed to be a psychological amplification tool. Ritual writings in Old English, partially encrypted. Patient 047, Spring Sire, the Easter Executioner. Specimen designation, CV H04/Spring Sire. Classification, human/seasonal killer/head preservationist. Status, extreme risk, containment protocol Bloom. Wing, holiday and seasonal killer sector, cell E4. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity, Adrian Bloom, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1989. Early fascination with Easter rituals and artistic pursuits. Obsession with color, form, and rebirth through death. Trigger, Easter season, March, April. Particularly active on Easter Sunday. Goals, decapitates victims, paints heads with vibrant colors, and hides them in thematic locations resembling Easter eggs. 2. Physical description. Height/weight, 5 feet 11 inches/165 pounds. Build, lean, artistic posture. Eyes, green, intense focus. Hair, auburn, shoulder length. Skin, pale. Outfit, pastel-colored tunic, gloves, apron smeared with paints and biological residue, rabbit mask. 3. Psychology, MBTI, INFP, artistic, obsessive, perfectionist. Enneagram, 4W5, individualistic, expressive, morbidly creative. Traits, ritualistic, visually oriented, methodical, patient. Behavior, stage crime scenes as twisted artwork. Enjoys leaving cryptic notes or color-coded symbols. 4. Abilities, anatomical precision. Skilled in decapitation. Artistic design, can paint and disguise heads convincingly. Stealth and evasion skills in suburban and rural zones. Weaknesses, seasonal fixation, off-season dormant. V. Modus operandi, decapitates victims, paints heads, hides in thematic Easter locations, gardens, baskets. Stages crime scenes to resemble art installations. 6. Territory, Philadelphia, suburban neighborhoods, nearby rural areas. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed killing, Easter 2011. 1 to 3 victims per Easter season. Victims selected based on symbolic innocence. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Bloom Trap. Date, April 4th, 2025. Location, Suburban Philadelphia neighborhood. Deployment: tactical strike teams, tracking scent markers and painted clues. Capture: intercepted while hiding painted heads, restrained using reinforced alloy and chemical sedatives. Containment: Cell E4, minimal sensory input, monitored for ritualistic activity. 9. Extra lore. Believed to leave faint floral scents to mask presence. Paints often include secret glyphs with unknown meaning. Patient 047, Mayday, Mayday Murderer. Specimen designation: CV H05/Mayday. Classification: Human/seasonal killer/floral assassin. Status: Extreme risk. Containment protocol Blossom. Wing: Holiday and seasonal killer sector. Cell M5. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. Origins and background. Original identity: Lila Thornton, Charleston, South Carolina, 1991. Raised in a horticulturist family obsessed with May Day festivities. Early exposure to plant toxins and ceremonial rituals. Trigger: May Day, May 1st. Compulsion to punish celebrants who hide sins behind festivity. Goals: kill in public parks during May Day celebrations, leaving victims entwined in floral traps or floral-themed tableaus. 2. Physical description. Height/weight: 5 feet 6 inches/125 pounds. Build: slender, dancer-like. Eyes: hazel, flecked green. Hair: blonde with floral streaks. Skin: fair, with faint pollen allergies. Outfit: flowing flower pattern dress, gloves laced with pollen toxins, mask shaped like a May Queen crown. 3. Psychology. MBTI: ENFP, chaotic, idealistic, theatrical. Enneagram: 4W3, obsessive with aesthetic perfection. Traits: ritualistic, obsessive with symbolism, enjoys public theatrics. Behavior: observes crowds, stalks carefully, manipulates environment to trap victims. 4. Abilities: mastery of plant toxins and pheromones. Agility and parkour through gardens. Psychological intimidation via floral symbolism. Weaknesses: overly reliant on seasonal events. Effectiveness drops off-season. V. Modus operandi: entices victims into floral mazes. Uses ribbons and plant toxins to subdue. Leaves victims staged among petals. Leaves cryptic floral arrangements as signature. 6. Territory: Charleston, South Carolina. Public parks, gardens, and local May Day festival areas. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, May 2012. 2 to 4 victims per May Day. Known for leaving victims semi-conscious, staged with symbolic flowers. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name: Blooming Net. Date: May 1st, 2024. Location: Charleston Public Garden. Capture: caught in maze of her own traps, sedated with aerosolized antidotes. Containment: Cell M5, sterile, minimal plant exposure, sensory dampened. 9. Extra lore. Occasionally writes May Day poems in pollen. Believed to use rare plant toxins capable of subtle hallucinations. Patient 048, Liberty Blaze, the 4th of July incinerator. Specimen designation: CV H06/Liberty Blaze. Classification: human/seasonal killer/pyro anomaly. Status: Extreme Risk, Containment Protocol Pyro. Wing: Holiday and Seasonal Killer Sector, Cell F6. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and Background. Original Identity: Jackson Jack Pierce, Boston, Massachusetts, 1987. Former pyrotechnician with fascination for fireworks. Developed obsession with purifying the nation's sins through controlled fire displays. Trigger: 4th of July, July 1st to 4th. Goals: kill crowds via explosions or fire traps while leaving symbolic patriotic tableaus. 2. Physical description: height/weight, 6 feet 0 inches /185 pounds. Build: athletic, fire-resistant skin scars. Eyes: amber, dilated in low light. Hair: black, singed tips. Outfit: flame-resistant red/white/blue suit. Mask resembling stylized eagle skull. Gloves with igniters. 3. Psychology: MBTI, ENTJ, authoritarian, perfectionist. Enneagram: 8W7, dominant, thrill-seeking, obsessive. Traits: ritualistic, pyromaniacal, patriotic delusions. 4. Abilities: pyrotechnics expert, creates traps and explosions. Fire endurance, minor anomaly allows him to resist burns. Exceptional planning and crowd manipulation. Weaknesses: water-based suppression nullifies effectiveness. Psychological fixation on July 4th. V. Modus operandi: lures victims to fireworks displays. Ignites traps remotely. Leaves burning symbols in victim area. Stars, stripes. 6. Territory: Massachusetts. Major Independence Day events. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, July 2009. Average 3 to 6 victims per year. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name: Fireworks Net. Date: July 4th, 2024. Location: Boston Harbor Fireworks Festival. Capture: cornered by flame-retardant tactical units. Explosives disarmed remotely. Containment: Cell F6. Reinforced alloy. Fire-suppressing environment. 9. Extra lore: leaves small American flags pinned to victims, symbolic of patriotic cleansing. Patient 049. Red Poppy, Veterans Day Vendetta. Specimen designation: CV H07/Red Poppy. Classification: human/holiday killer/military obsessed assassin. Status: extreme risk, containment protocol valor. Wing: holiday and seasonal killer sector, Cell V7. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity: Marcus Kane, Norfolk, Virginia, 1985. Former military intelligence officer dishonorably discharged for excessive aggression in combat. Developed obsession with true patriotism and punishing those who disrespect veterans. Trigger: Veterans Day, November 11th. Goals: target civilians or institutions he perceives as disrespecting the military, leaving symbolic displays with poppies and military insignia. 2. Physical description: height/weight, 6 feet 1 inch /190 pounds. Build: muscular, disciplined. Eyes: steely gray, cold and calculating. Hair: shaved, military style. Skin: tanned, weathered. Outfit: camouflage uniform, red poppy armband, combat boots, tactical mask resembling a skull with dog tags. 3. Psychology: MBTI, ISTJ, meticulous, rule-bound, rigid moral code. Enneagram 1W2, obsessive about justice and tradition. Traits: disciplined, ritualistic, unforgiving. Behavior: meticulous planning, military-style precision in kills. 4. Abilities: military combat and tactical expertise. Skilled in firearms and explosives. Exceptional endurance and stealth. Weaknesses: overly rigid planning. Emotional triggers if veterans are honored incorrectly. V. Modus operandi: identifies targets he deems dishonoring veterans. Leaves poppy flowers pinned to clothing or in kill tableau. Employs military-style traps and ambushes. Uses high-precision weapons to stage victims. 6. Territory: military ceremonies, parades, and public Veterans Day events nationwide. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, Veterans Day, 2010. 1 to 3 victims per year, mostly symbolic lessons. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name: Operation Poppy Net. Date: November 11th, 2024. Location: Norfolk, Virginia parade route. Capture: tactical strike with flashbangs and restraining nets. Subdued during high-speed foot chase. Containment: Cell V7, reinforced alloy, sensory isolated, no live ammunition exposure. 9. Extra lore: leaves tactical notes describing dishonor of each victim. Ritualistically cleans weapons post-kill with poppy oil. Patient 050, Memorial Shadow, Memorial Day Stalker. Specimen designation: CV-H08/Memorial Shadow. Classification: Human/Holiday Killer/Grief Manipulator. Status: Extreme Risk, Containment Protocol Morning. Wing: Holiday and Seasonal Killer Sector, Cell M8. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity: Elise Warren, Arlington, Virginia, 1990. Child of a military family. Father died in combat. Experienced profound grief and developed obsession with honoring the dead by punishing the living for forgetting sacrifice. Trigger: Memorial Day, last Monday of May. Goals: kill attendees of careless or disrespectful Memorial Day ceremonies. Stage them to symbolize fallen soldiers. 2. Physical description: height/weight, 5 feet 8 inches/140 pounds. Build: athletic, graceful. Eyes: gray-blue, glassy when morning. Hair: dark brown, long, tied in braid. Skin: pale with subtle scars on forearms from prior rituals. Outfit: black morning dress, veil, gloves stained with ceremonial chalk, small silver dog tags around wrist. 3. Psychology: MBTI, INFJ, highly empathetic, ritual obsessed, emotionally intense. Enneagram 4W5, morbidly idealistic, perfectionist. Traits: obsessive with symbolism, ritualistic, emotionally manipulative. 4. Abilities: exceptional at planning ceremonies and staging victims. Psychological manipulation of crowds and mourners. Ability to remain unseen in crowded ceremonial areas. Weaknesses: seasonal fixation, extreme emotional triggers. V. Modus operandi: selects disrespectful participants. Creates staged, symbolic tableaus representing fallen soldiers. Leaves small memorial wreaths or chalk silhouettes as calling card. 6. Territory: Arlington National Cemetery and surrounding Memorial Day events. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, Memorial Day 2013. Average 1 to 2 victims per year. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Operation Silent Honor. Date, May 27, 2024. Location, Arlington National Cemetery. Capture, tracked via aerial surveillance and infrared cameras, sedated while attempting to place wreaths. Containment, Cell M8, sensory controlled, isolated from ceremonial items. 9. Extra lore. Writes cryptic, grief-laden messages to victims in chalk. Refers to herself as the veil between the living and dead. Patient 051. Black Friday, the Shopping Slayer. Specimen designation, CV H09/Black Friday. Classification, human/holiday killer/consumerism predator. Status, extreme risk, containment protocol commerce. Wing, holiday and seasonal killer sector, Cell B9. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. Origins and background. Original identity, Derek Malcolm, Detroit, Michigan, 1986. Former retail worker fired for theft. Developed obsessive hatred for consumerism and overcrowded shopping culture. Trigger, Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving. Goals, punish greedy shoppers, often with traps inspired by retail chaos. 2. Physical description. Height/weight, 6 feet 2 inches/210 pounds. Build, stocky, imposing. Eyes, dark brown, piercing. Hair, shaved sides, messy top. Skin, fair, scarred hands from past retail injuries. Outfit, black tactical vest with store barcodes, shopping cart shield, mask resembling a barcode-stylized skull. 3. Psychology, MBTI, INTJ, strategic, calculating, coldly logical. Enneagram, 5W6, obsessive, analytical, isolated. Traits, analytical, methodical, thrives on chaos, vindictive. 4. Abilities, expert trap designer, using everyday retail items. Exceptional stealth in crowded areas. High endurance under physical strain. Weaknesses, dependent on chaotic environments. Predictable on predictable Black Fridays. V. Modus operandi. Sets mechanical traps in stores. Uses crowd chaos to isolate targets. Leaves victims displayed with price tags as symbolic punishment. 6. Territory. Major metropolitan shopping centers nationwide. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, Black Friday 2014. 3 to 7 victims per event. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Operation SailNet. Date, November 29, 2024. Location, Detroit Megamall. Capture, surveillance cameras plus tactical teams, trapped in his own mechanical retail display. Containment, Cell B9, reinforced, minimal mechanical components, isolated. 9. Extra lore, leaves black price tags with value of greed, marked in blood. Keeps meticulous ledger of victims and retail chaos. Patient 052. Joker's Night, April Fool's Fatalist. Specimen designation, CV H10/Jester. Classification, Human/holiday killer/trickster assassin. Status: extreme risk, containment protocol trick. Wing: holiday and seasonal killer sector. Cell A-10. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. Origins and background. Original identity: Felix Crane, Chicago, Illinois, 1993. Former comedian and prankster. Obsessed with the power of surprise and chaos. Triggered by April Fool's Day, April 1st. Goals: kill through elaborate pranks. Enjoys psychological torment more than direct killing. 2. Physical description: height/weight, 5 feet 11 inches/165 pounds. Build: slim, wiry. Eyes: green, darting, hyper-focused. Hair: bright red streaks through brown. Skin: pale, covered in faint prank scars. Outfit: colorful jester suit with hidden blades, gloves with retractable needles, mask painted in perpetual grin. 3. Psychology: MBTI, ENTP, chaotic, witty, manipulative. Enneagram: 7W6, thrill-seeking, playful but deadly. Traits: high intelligence, improvisational, cruelly humorous. 4. Abilities: expert trap and prank design. Master of misdirection and psychological torment. Agile, parkour capable in urban environments. Weaknesses: relies on victims' gullibility. Overconfidence can lead to capture. V. Modus operandi: lures victims with pranks. Uses humor and surprise to disarm and execute. Leaves signature fool's note with each kill. 6. Territory: urban and suburban areas, targeting April Fool's parties, offices, and public gatherings. 7. Timeline/notable victims: first confirmed, April 1st, 2015. 1 to 4 victims per year. 8. Capture/incident: operation name, Operation Prank Trap. Date: April 1st, 2024. Location: Chicago Comedy Club. Capture: victims escaped, tactical units closed exits, subdued with net traps and chemical sedatives. Containment: Cell A-10, minimal reflective surfaces, isolated from prank materials. 9. Extra lore: writes cryptic riddles at crime scenes. Known to include joke props that foreshadow kills. Patient 053, Firework Fox, New Year's Night Pyro. Specimen designation: CV-H11/Firework Fox. Classification: human/holiday killer/pyro assassin. Status: extreme risk, containment protocol countdown. Wing: holiday and seasonal killer sector. Cell N-11. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. Origins and background. Original identity: Selena Marquez, Miami, Florida, 1988. Fireworks enthusiast and former stunt performer. Obsessed with beginnings, endings, and cleansing fire to mark the passage of time. Trigger: New Year's Eve, December 31st to January 1st. Goals: kill partygoers during fireworks displays, leaves victims in elaborate fire tableaus. 2. Physical description: height/weight, 5 feet 9 inches/145 pounds. Build: athletic, flexible. Eyes: amber, glinting under fireworks. Hair: black, streaked silver. Skin: olive-toned, scar from previous fire stunt. Outfit: fire-resistant jumpsuit, reflective mask resembling a fox, gloves with pyrotechnic igniters. 3. Psychology, MBTI, ESTP, thrill-seeking, impulsive, live in the moment. Enneagram, 3W4, dramatic, showy, seeks recognition. Traits, performative, chaotic, impulsive. 4. Abilities, pyrotechnics expert, explosive trap designer, acrobatic, agile, capable of crowd evasion. Minor anomaly, brief resistance to fire. Weaknesses, requires festive gatherings, easily distracted by chaos. V. Modus operandi, sets fire traps synchronized with fireworks. Targets careless revelers. Leaves symbolic fire trails to signify new beginnings. 6. Territory, large urban New Year's Eve celebrations, rooftops, beaches. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, December 31st, 2012. 3 to 5 victims per New Year's Eve. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Operation Pyro Net. Date, December 31st, 2024. Location, Miami Beach fireworks event. Capture, fireproof tactical teams intercepted, sedated with chemical suppressants. Containment, Cell N11, fire suppressing, reinforced alloy, isolated. 9. Extra lore, leaves small fox charms in pyrotechnic debris. Believes each kill resets the soul. Patient 054, Fang, Christmas Night Stalker. Specimen designation, CV-H16/Frostfawn. Classification, human/holiday killer/winter predator. Status, extreme risk, containment protocol Yuletide. Wing, holiday and seasonal killer sector, Cell C-16. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity, Klaus Winter, Denver, Colorado, 1980. Experienced traumatic Christmas as a child. Obsessed with perfect holiday aesthetics and punishing, cheerless households. Trigger, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, December 24th to 25th. Goals, kill during Christmas night. Leave victims in festive tableaus with blood-red ornaments. 2. Physical description. Height/weight, 6 feet 2 inches/200 pounds. Build, muscular, imposing. Eyes, ice blue, glowing under lights. Hair, white blonde, short. Skin, pale, frostbitten looking. Outfit, Santa-inspired coat modified for combat. Fur-lined gloves, mask resembling a frozen Santa face, carrying ice-studded weapons. 3. Psychology, MBTI, ISTP, tactical, precise, calm under stress. Enneagram, 8W7, assertive, thrill-seeking, dominant. Traits, obsessed with symmetry, theatrical, ritualistic. 4. Abilities, stealth in snow, skilled with bladed weapons. Creates cold traps to slow victims. Weaknesses, warm climates reduce effectiveness. V. Modus operandi, selects households ignoring festive traditions. Stages bodies in Christmas-themed tableaus. Leaves ice ornaments, representing each victim. 6. Territory, snowy residential neighborhoods, mountain cabins, Colorado and neighboring states. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, Christmas 2005. 1 to 4 victims per Christmas season. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name, Operation Icicle. Date, December 25th, 2024. Location: Aspen, Colorado. Capture: thermal imaging plus reinforced nets. Restrained mid-ritual with chemical sedatives. Containment: Cell C-16. Refrigerated, isolated, sensory limited. 9. Extra lore. Leaves cryptic notes referencing Christmas myths. Known to hum carols while hunting. Patient 055. Labor Shadow, Labor Day Lurker. Specimen designation: CV-H12/Labor Shadow. Classification: Human/Holiday Killer/Work Obsessionist. Status: Extreme Risk. Containment Protocol Industry. Wing: Holiday and Seasonal Killer Sector. Cell L-12. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. Origins and background. Original identity: Conrad Voss, Detroit, Michigan, 1982. Former factory foreman obsessed with labor ethics and work discipline. Fired during union disputes, developed intense hatred for laziness and slackers. Trigger: Labor Day, first Monday of September. Goals: punish workers he perceives as lazy or dishonest, leaving staged workplace accidents with symbolic tools. 2. Physical description: height/weight, 6 feet 0 inches/200 pounds. Build: broad, muscular. Eyes: steel gray, piercing. Hair: dark brown, slicked back. Skin: weathered, calloused hands. Outfit: workman's coveralls with reflective stripes, welding mask repurposed as execution mask, tool belt containing weaponized hand tools. 3. Psychology: MBTI, ISTJ, rigid, methodical, detail-oriented. Enneagram: 1W2, perfectionist, morally rigid. Traits: obsessive about rules, manipulative, ritualistic. Behavior: sets traps in workplaces, manipulates machinery to stage fatal accidents. 4. Abilities: skilled in mechanical and electrical systems. Able to rig workplace environments with lethal efficiency. Exceptional patience for long surveillance. Weaknesses: obsession with perfection, predictable patterns. V. Modus operandi: targets workers he believes are incompetent. Executes victims using workplace tools or machinery. Leaves symbolic calling card, miniature wrench painted in blood. 6. Territory: factories, warehouses, construction sites across the Midwest. 7. Timeline/notable victims. First confirmed, Labor Day 2011. 1 to 3 victims per Labor Day. 8. Capture/incident. Operation name: Operation Iron Grip. Date: September 4th, 2023. Location: Detroit Steel Factory. Capture: caught mid-setup with cameras and tracking of mechanical anomalies. Restrained using reinforced chains and sedatives. Containment: Cell L-12. Mechanical isolation. Restricted tool access. 9. Extra lore. Leaves handwritten safety violation notes at scene. Known to whistle industrial tunes during kills. Patient 056. Halloween Hag, October Witch. Specimen designation: CV-H14/Halloween Hag. Classification: Human/Holiday Killer/Fear Witch. Status: Extreme Risk. Containment Protocol Coven. Wing: Holiday and Seasonal Killer Sector. Cell 14. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity: Winifred Blackthorne, Salem, Massachusetts, 1975. Descendant of accused witches. Obsessed with dark folklore. Trigger: Halloween, October 1st to 31st. Goals: invoke fear and superstition. Kills to complete rituals for the dead. 2. Physical description: height/weight 5 feet 6 inches / 135 pounds. Build: slender, wiry. Eyes: dark brown, reflective in candlelight. Hair: gray-black, long and tangled. Skin: pale with ritual tattoos. Outfit: tattered witch robes, pointed hat, clawed gloves, face partially concealed with cobweb patterned mask. 3. Psychology: MBTI, INTJ, strategic, manipulative, obsessed with folklore. Enneagram: 5W6, knowledge-seeking, meticulous, introverted. Traits: ritualistic, manipulative, enjoys psychological terror. 4. Abilities: expert in occult symbols and historical rituals. Master of fear psychology, skilled in creating traps and illusions. Weaknesses: reliance on candlelight and ritual paraphernalia. V. Modus operandi: uses old folk magic and staged rituals. Lures victims with witchcraft displays. Kills involve symbolic implements, knives, ropes, representing folklore. 6. Territory: Salem and surrounding rural areas, old cemeteries, forests. 7. Timeline/notable victims: first confirmed, Halloween 1998. 1 to 5 victims per Halloween. 8. Capture/incident: operation name, Operation Wicked Web. Date: October 31st, 2023. Location: Salem Historic District. Capture: caught in ritual circle, sedated and restrained with silver-coated chains. Containment: Cell H-14. Ritual artifact-free, low light, isolated. 9. Extra lore: leaves charms made from victims' hair. Whispered incantations often recorded in journals. Patient 057, Patrick's Grin, the Patrick's Day Killer. Specimen designation: CV H19/Patrick's Grin. Classification: human/holiday killer/trickster assassin. Status: extreme risk. Containment Protocol Clover. Wing: holiday and seasonal killer sector. Cell P-19. Compiled by Warden Valerius Hoss. I. Origins and background. Original identity: Liam O'Connor, Boston, Massachusetts, 1991. Irish descent, obsessed with luck, folklore, and the mythos of the leprechaun. Family trauma from gambling addiction. Trigger: St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Goals: punish the unlucky and greedy. Leaves victims in twisted, green-themed tableaus. 2. Physical description: height/weight 5 feet 10 inches / 160 pounds. Build: lean, wiry. Eyes: emerald green, reflective in candlelight. Hair: auburn, unkempt. Skin: pale. Outfit: green suit, bowler hat, gold-painted mask with permanent grin, gloves with retractable blades. 3. Psychology: MBTI, ENTP, chaotic, clever, manipulative. Enneagram: 7W6, thrill-seeking, whimsical, unpredictable. Traits: mischievous, theatrical, enjoys psychological torment. 4. Abilities: exceptional escape artist, expert in trickery and misdirection, skilled in improvisational attacks. Weaknesses: obsessive about color scheme, easily distracted by gold or green objects. V. Modus operandi: targets gamblers, thieves, or greedy individuals. Stages scenes with green paint, shamrocks, and gold coins. Often leaves victims posed in playful but grotesque positions. 6. Territory: Irish pubs, Boston urban districts, city streets. 7. Timeline/notable victims: first confirmed, March 17, 2012. 1 to 3 victims per St. Patrick's Day. 8. Capture/incident: operation name, Operation Luckless. Date: March 17, 2024. Location: Boston Irish District. Capture: lured into trap with staged gold coins, restrained using reinforced cuffs and sedatives. Containment: Cell P-19, minimal sensory stimulation, green objects banned. 9. Extra lore: leaves riddles and pot of gold notes near victims. Known for whispering, "The luck has run out," before attack. These 16 subjects and unique individuals represent only a fraction of what resides within Dark Mind Asylum. Each mind is a story. Each story is a warning. Each gift is a curse. Our observation continues. Our containment is absolute, and the unknown, ever present. These patients inhabit a world between fear and understanding, a delicate balance maintained by our observation and control. Here at Dark Mind Asylum, the extraordinary becomes documented, the dangerous becomes contained, and the mind, both human and beyond, remains under scrutiny. As new file episodes continue, you will witness the evolution of this reality, the layers of their ability, and the everlasting of continuity. Join us next time as we delve further into the darkness. All cryptids and patients captured by Dark Mind Asylum Cryptids Special Teams. Biological Anomalies Division. Special Cryptid Retrieval Task Force. Black Lantern Division.